High above the earth, hidden behind clouds and shadows, the alien ship floated silently. Humans went about their daily lives, completely unaware that countless eyes were watching them. Inside the ship, Zyron, the alien leader, stood before a giant screen showing countless images of the planet below. Cities glowed like stars at night, oceans sparkled under the sun, and tiny humans rushed through busy streets like ants. They live so chaotically, one alien scientist muttered. They fight, they argue, they laugh, all at the same time, another said, shaking his head. To the alien crew, humans seemed strange. They were emotional and unpredictable. One moment they hugged each other with love, and the next moment they screamed in anger. The aliens found it amusing, at first, watching the fragile ones. The aliens decided to study humans secretly. They zoomed their scanners on different places, a crowded city, a peaceful village, a battlefield, and even the deep oceans where submarines moved like silent predators. Everywhere they looked, they saw the same thing, humans struggling, but never stopping. A mother carried water for miles to feed her family. A doctor worked for days without rest to save the sick. A firefighter ran into burning buildings to rescue strangers. The aliens were confused. Why risk their lives for others? An alien warrior asked. In our worlds, the weak are left behind, another replied coldly. But humans were different. Even when they were scared, even when they were fragile, they stood together. Zyron observed silently, his glowing eyes narrowing. These creatures are small, he said softly, but they have something powerful inside them, something we do not understand. Curiosity turns to fear. Days passed. The more the aliens watched, the more unsettled they became. One evening, their scanners showed a massive storm striking a coastal city. Winds roared, waves crashed, and buildings fell like toys. The aliens expected to see humans run away in terror. Instead, they saw humans return to the wreckage the very next day. They rebuilt their homes, cleaned the streets, and helped each other survive. One alien whispered, almost in fear, "They do not give up. Even nature cannot break them." Another replied, "Perhaps it is because they are too foolish to know when to quit." But deep down, they all knew it wasn't foolishness. It was determination. A strange discovery. One quiet night, the aliens focused their scanners on a schoolyard. A group of children played beneath the moonlight, laughing and chasing each other. But one child sat alone, drawing on a piece of paper. The drawing caught Zyron's attention. It was of a strange machine, something with wings, something that could fly higher than birds. The aliens were puzzled. "What is this creature doing?" a scientist asked. "It dreams," Zyron replied quietly. "It imagines what does not exist." The child showed the drawing to another, who laughed at first, then began to help. Soon, more children gathered, excited by the idea. In that small moment, the aliens witnessed something extraordinary, the birth of innovation. Humans could see the impossible in their minds, then build it with their hands. Zyron felt a chill run through his body. "Most species only adapt to survive," he said. "But these fragile beings, they create. That is far more dangerous." Testing the humans. The alien crew grew restless. They had seen enough to know that humans were strange, but they still didn't understand their true potential. So Zyron proposed a test. "We will not harm them," he said, "but we will create difficulty. We must see how they react." Using their technology, they caused a small, invisible disturbance in one human city. Machines stopped working. Lights went out. Communication systems failed. The aliens waited, expecting chaos. At first, humans panicked. There were screams, confusion, and fear. "See," one alien laughed. "They crumble so easily." But then, something unexpected happened. Humans began helping each other. Neighbors shared food and water. Groups formed to guide people through the dark streets. Engineers and scientists worked day and night to solve the problem. In just a few days, the humans restored their city, and even improved it. The alien crew was silent, stunned by what they had witnessed. "They adapt so quickly," one whispered. "It's like every challenge makes them stronger," another added. Zyron clenched his fists. "They are fragile in body," he said, "but their minds are weapons we cannot measure." growing unease. The aliens now felt a strange mix of fear and fascination. The more they observed humans, the more they realized they were unlike any species in the galaxy. They were not the strongest. They were not the smartest. They were not the fastest. And yet, they were unstoppable. One scientist studied data from the test and spoke nervously. "Leader, if they continue to grow like this, they will soon leave their planet. They will spread through the stars, perhaps even challenge us." Zyron turned toward Earth, his expression dark. "They are fragile," he whispered, "but they are growing. We must decide, do we stop them now, or do we keep watching?" Before anyone could answer, the ship's alarms blared loudly. The main screen showed humans launching a rocket into the sky. It rose higher and higher, burning through the atmosphere, reaching for space. The crew stared in shock. "They are already coming," one alien said, his voice trembling. "They are faster than we thought." Zyron's eyes narrowed, filled with both respect and dread. "Prepare for the next phase," he commanded. "These fragile giants are no longer just a curiosity. They are a threat and a mystery we must solve." The alien ship floated in the dark sky above Earth, completely hidden from human eyes. Inside, tension filled the air. For many days, Zyron and his crew had only watched, quietly observing the humans. They had seen their laughter, their anger, their endless rebuilding after disasters. But now, curiosity had turned into fear. "These creatures grow too fast," one alien scientist said, his voice shaky. "In only a few generations, they went from fire to flying machines. If this continues, they will reach the stars very soon." The room fell silent. Everyone knew he was right. Zyron stood tall at the center of the control room. His glowing eyes scanned the images of Earth. "We need to understand how strong they really are," he declared. "We must test them directly." The crew exchanged nervous glances. "But, leader," one warrior said, "if we interfere, they might notice us." Zyron shook his head. "We will be careful. They will never know we were here." He looked back at the planet. These creatures call themselves humans. They seem fragile, emotional, and unorganized. Perhaps they are nothing to fear. But before we decide, we must be certain. The silent attack. The aliens created a plan. They would cause a small disaster, something that would push humans to their limits. Not enough to destroy them completely, just enough to see how they reacted under extreme pressure. A glowing sphere appeared in the center of the ship. It pulsed with alien energy, ready to be unleashed. Zyron raised his hand. "Release it into one of their cities," he ordered. "No one will see it. They will believe it is a natural event." The sphere vanished, shooting silently toward Earth. Moments later, far below, a massive city went dark. Every light turned off. Machines stopped working. Cars stopped in the streets. Airplanes were grounded. Hospitals lost power. Panic spread like fire. On the alien ship, the crew watched eagerly. "Look," one alien said, laughing. "They are terrified." "Without their machines, they are helpless," another added. "They will collapse in days." At first, it seemed true. The humans ran through the streets, confused and afraid. Stores closed, communication lines broke, and fear filled every corner of the city. But then, something unexpected happened. The rise of cooperation. As the hours passed, small groups of humans began to organize themselves. Neighbors checked on each other, sharing food and water. Doctors and nurses worked by candlelight to treat the sick. Engineers gathered in dark rooms, sketching plans by hand, searching for solutions. Within a single day, rescue teams formed. Within 2 days, makeshift systems were running. By the end of the week, the humans had restored power to their city. The aliens stared at the screen, speechless. This is impossible," whispered the scientist. "They should be weaker without their machines, yet they grow stronger." Zyron's face darkened. "They are adapting. Even in chaos, they learn and improve." The crew felt a strange, heavy fear. They had seen many advanced species across the galaxy, but never one that turned disaster into growth so quickly. The unexpected problem. While the humans were rebuilding, something strange appeared on their radar. A small trace of alien energy from the sphere was detected by human scientists. Though they didn't understand it, they knew it was not natural. "This is not a storm," one human researcher said, pointing at the data. "Something caused this." The aliens didn't realize that their tests had exposed them. In secret labs, humans began to study the strange signal, unknowingly getting closer to the truth. Meanwhile, on the ship, arguments broke out among the crew. One warrior slammed his fist against the wall. "This was a mistake," he shouted. "Now they are growing even faster. We gave them a new mystery to solve." Another added, "If they discover us, they might try to fight back." Zyron silenced them with a single gesture. "They are not ready to face us," he said coldly. "But I admit we underestimated them." Learning from chaos. Days later, the humans completely restored their city. Not only that, they improved it, building stronger systems and backup plans to prevent future blackouts. What was meant to weaken them had, instead, made them smarter and more united. The aliens were shocked. "It is like they feed on difficulty," one scientist said, his voice trembling. "Every problem becomes a teacher," Zyron muttered, almost in awe. "They do not just survive, they evolve." He turned to the crew. "This is why they are dangerous. They grow stronger because of pain, not in spite of it." The final warning. Just as the crew was trying to understand what they had seen, an alarm blared throughout the ship. The main screen lit up, showing something unbelievable. In a hidden human laboratory, scientists were building new machines, inspired by the strange energy they had detected during the blackout. The humans didn't know it yet, but they were reverse engineering alien technology. Zyron stared at the image, his voice low and tense. "This is our fault," he said. "Our test has awakened them. They will not stop now." One warrior stepped forward. "Leader, should we destroy them before it's too late?" Zyron paused, his glowing eyes fixed on the humans below. "No," he said finally. "Not yet. If we destroy them now, the galaxy will never understand what they could become. We will continue to watch, but carefully." He turned away from the screen, but inside, even he felt a flicker of fear. The humans had survived their first test, and they didn't even know who their true enemy was. Worse still, they were learning from it. As the alien ship drifted silently through the clouds, one final thought echoed in Zyron's mind. They are fragile in body, but unbreakable in spirit, and that makes them far more dangerous than we ever imagined. The alien ship drifted quietly above Earth, hidden beyond the clouds. Inside, a heavy silence filled the control room. The crew stood in a circle around a large glowing table. On its surface, images of Earth's past flickered like ghosts, scenes of battles, empires, and destruction. Zyron, the alien leader, stared at the images, his expression grim. "We have been watching them in the present," he said slowly, "but to understand their true nature, we must look into their history." The ship's memory core connected to Earth's data streams. Slowly, a timeline began to form, and what they saw left the crew speechless. The first blood. The images showed the earliest humans, small groups living in caves, hiding from wild beasts and storms. They were weak, one alien scientist whispered. They had no technology, no weapons, nothing. But then the images changed. The humans began to fight each other. At first, it was over food, shelter, and survival. They made sharp stones, wooden spears, and simple traps. "Primitive," one alien scoffed. "They destroy their own kind." Zyron, however, was watching carefully. "Look closer," he said. "Each battle teaches them something new." The aliens watched as humans moved from small tribes to great villages. With every conflict, their weapons evolved. Stones became bronze, bronze became iron. Their tools grew sharper, their strategies smarter. It was as if war itself was their teacher. Empires rise and fall. The timeline moved forward. Humans built great kingdoms and empires. Armies marched across deserts and seas, conquering vast lands. The aliens saw soldiers standing in perfect formations, moving like a single organism. Catapults hurled stones over walls. Massive ships sailed with towering sails. "They are still fragile," one alien muttered, "but their numbers, they are endless." The images grew darker. Whole civilizations collapsed, only to be replaced by stronger ones. The aliens noticed a terrifying pattern. Destruction never ended them. Every fall was followed by a rise. They don't just survive war, Zyron said, his voice low. They evolve through it. One scientist trembled. This is unnatural. Most species die when they fight like this. These creatures grow. The Age of Fire. The timeline sped ahead. Suddenly, Earth burned with the flames of industry. Smoke rose from cities, machines roared, and humans moved faster than ever before. Look at them now, one alien gasped. They are bending nature itself to their will. The crew saw trains thundering across continents, ships of steel crossing oceans, and strange flying machines soaring into the sky. In only a few centuries, humans had transformed their world. But then came the most horrifying images yet. Massive explosions lit up the timeline. The aliens watched in shock as humans unleashed world wars, battles so large that entire nations vanished. They are destroying everything, one alien cried. They will wipe themselves out. But Zyron shook his head. No, he said slowly. Look again. As the smoke cleared, the humans were rebuilding, faster and stronger than before. Each war pushed them to create deadlier weapons, smarter machines, and faster ways to fight. The ultimate weapon. The final images made the crew tremble. Mushroom-shaped clouds rose into the sky. The humans had discovered nuclear fire, a power strong enough to destroy their entire planet. The control room went silent. Even Zyron could not hide his unease. With such weapons, one alien whispered, they should have ended themselves. But they didn't, Zyron replied. Instead, they used fear to control it. They stood on the edge of extinction and somehow stepped back. The aliens could not understand it. Most species they had encountered would have perished after such chaos. But humans had stared into the abyss and survived. This is why they are dangerous, Zyron said. They do not fear destruction. They grow from it. The hidden pattern. The scientists expanded the timeline, showing all of Earth's wars and revolutions as glowing dots. When viewed together, the dots formed a terrifying pattern, a spiral, tightening faster and faster as it moved toward the present day. This is not random, the scientist said, his voice trembling. Their growth is accelerating. Soon, their next conflict will take them beyond this planet. The room filled with dread. If humans ever united, even briefly, their combined strength will be unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. They fight each other now, a warrior said hopefully. Perhaps they will never unite. But Zyron wasn't convinced. Someday, they will stop fighting themselves, he said quietly. And when that day comes, they will turn their eyes to the stars. A dangerous decision. The crew began to argue. We must destroy them now, one warrior shouted. If they reach space, they will become unstoppable. No, another argued. We should leave and never return. Let them destroy themselves. Zyron listened in silence before raising his hand. Enough, he commanded. We will do neither. For now, we will continue to watch. But we must prepare, because when they rise, we must be ready. A vision of the future. As the timeline ended, the screen displayed a final image. A child standing in a ruined city, holding a small flag. Behind the child, humans rebuilt towers even higher than before. Above them, a rocket launched into space. The crew watched in stunned silence. Even after endless wars and endless pain, the humans still looked upward, dreaming of something greater. Zyron's voice was a whisper, filled with awe and fear. They are fragile, but their dreams make them giants. And one day, those dreams will reach us. The screen went dark. For the first time, the aliens truly understood the danger of humanity. They were not just survivors. They were the galaxy's most relentless warriors, and their story was only beginning. In the cold darkness of space, far away from Earth, a massive alien ship floated silently. Inside, a group of tall, silver-skinned beings stood around a glowing hologram. They were explorers, moving from one star system to another, searching for intelligent life. For centuries, they had traveled the galaxy. They had seen many worlds filled with strange creatures, mighty beasts with scales as strong as metal, and civilizations so advanced they could bend gravity like clay. Nothing surprised them anymore, or so they thought. One day, their scanners detected a small, blue planet orbiting a yellow star. At first, it seemed unremarkable, just another world covered in water and clouds. But when they zoomed in, they saw something unusual. Small creatures were walking on two legs, building structures, flying machines, and lighting up the night with millions of tiny lights. The leader of the aliens, a tall figure named Zyron, studied the images carefully. "These creatures are soft," he said, his voice echoing through the ship. "Look at their thin skin, their weak muscles. No claws, no armor. They seem so fragile." The others laughed. "They are harmless," one alien said, shaking his head. "We could crush them with one hand." "Why waste our time here?" another added. "They are too weak to be a threat." But Zyron was not so sure. There was something about this planet that made him uneasy. The glowing lights on the surface were organized, like patterns. These creatures were building and growing. "Appearances can deceive," he warned. "Let us observe them closely before we decide." The ship moved silently toward the blue planet, Earth. The aliens hid high above the clouds, invisible to human eyes. From there, they began to watch. Their advanced senses allowed them to see everything: cities, villages, oceans, and deserts. They observed humans living their daily lives, eating, laughing, arguing, and working. At first, everything seemed simple. "They fight among themselves," one alien said with amusement. "They are emotional and chaotic," another added. "They are not united like us." The aliens believed they were looking at a primitive species, one that could never travel beyond their small world. But then something unusual appeared on their scanners, flashes of history, like ghosts of the past. The ship's systems began to replay scenes from Earth's history. The aliens saw massive battles fought with swords, arrows, and fire. They saw humans rise from caves to kingdoms, from wooden boats to steel ships. Then came images of great wars, machines roaring across battlefields, bombs falling from the sky, entire cities burning. The alien fell silent. "These fragile beings, they fight even when the odds are against them," whispered one alien. "But why?" another asked. "Why would such weak creatures destroy each other and yet survive?" The scenes continued to play. In every war, humans grew stronger. They invented new tools, new weapons, new ways to communicate. They rebuilt their cities after every disaster, never giving up. It was as if conflict made them evolve faster. "This is strange," Zyron said, his eyes narrowing. "Every time they fall, they rise again. They are fragile, yet they refuse to disappear." One alien scientist scanned deeper into the planet's history and gasped. "Look at this," he said. "Only a few hundred years ago, they rode animals. Now they fly into the sky with metal machines. Their progress is unbelievably fast." The room filled with tension. If these creatures continued to grow at this speed, what would they become in another 1,000 years? Or even in 100? The thought made the aliens uneasy. While the crew debated, a small screen flickered to life. It showed a live scene from a quiet village on Earth. A young human child sat beneath a tree, holding a piece of paper and a pencil. The child was drawing something, a strange shape with wings. "What is that creature doing?" an alien asked. "It is making symbols," another replied. "No," Zyron said, leaning closer. "It is imagining something. It dreams of flight." The aliens watched in silence as the child showed the drawing to an adult. The adult smiled, ruffled the child's hair, and pointed toward the sky where a plane flew overhead. In that simple moment, the aliens realized something shocking. These beings do not only react to their world, Zyron said slowly. They imagine things that do not exist, and then they create them. The crew shuddered. Most species they had encountered only adapted to survive. But these fragile creatures were different. They were dreamers, and dreams could be dangerous. Zyron turned to his crew, his voice calm but cold. "We came here expecting to find a weak species," he said. "But I see now that their weakness is a mask. They are fragile in body, but giants in spirit." The others looked uneasy. "What do you suggest Leader, one asked. We continue to watch, Zyron replied, and we never, ever underestimate them again. Suddenly, alarms blared through the ship. What's happening? A crew member shouted. The main screen lit up with a shocking image, a giant explosion somewhere on Earth. Smoke rose into the sky as cities burned. Humans were at war again. But this time, the aliens didn't laugh. They watched closely, fear growing inside them as humans turned destruction into innovation, chaos into progress. Zyron's final words echoed through the silent chamber. They are fragile, yes, but one day these fragile giants will reach for the stars. And when they do, the entire galaxy will tremble. The screen faded to black, leaving only one question hanging in the cold air of the alien ship. What will these creatures become? The alien ship floated high above the Earth, silent and invisible. Inside, the crew stood in uneasy silence, still shaken by what they had learned about human history. Wars, destruction, endless rebuilding, and now rockets reaching for the sky. Zyron, the alien leader, looked down at the glowing planet below. They are growing faster than we expected, he said, and their history proves they will never stop. But there is still one thing we do not understand. The crew turned toward him, confused. What do you mean, leader? Asked the scientist. We have seen their strength, their technology, their weapons. What more is there? Zyron's eyes glowed brighter. Machines and weapons are not their true power, he said. There is something deeper, something invisible. We must go to their world and see it with our own eyes. The descent. For the first time, the aliens decided to step onto Earth. Using advanced cloaking devices, they disguised themselves to look like humans. Their voices changed, their shapes shifted, and soon they appeared as ordinary people. Under the cover of night, a small group of aliens descended to the surface. They landed in a quiet forest, far from any city, then slowly made their way toward human civilization. As they entered a nearby town, they were overwhelmed by the noise, light, and energy around them. Cars raced down streets. People laughed and argued. Children ran through parks. Music played in the distance. One alien warrior muttered, "They are so loud, so alive." Another added, "And yet so fragile. A single blow could end any of them." But Zyron stayed silent, watching carefully. He knew there was more to these creatures than met the eye. Observing the humans, the aliens split up, blending into the crowds. They visited schools, markets, factories, and even libraries. Everywhere they went, they saw something strange, humans constantly creating and sharing ideas. In a school, a teacher spoke to a room full of children. She told them stories of heroes and explorers, of people who dared to do the impossible. The children's eyes shone with excitement as they imagined those stories coming to life. In a market, a musician played a song. The simple melody caused strangers to gather, smile, and dance together, forgetting their worries. In a workshop, engineers built machines while artists painted beautiful images on walls. Different people, different dreams, yet somehow all connected. The aliens were stunned. "They are more than individuals," one whispered. "They share their dreams with each other." Their ideas spread like fire. The moment of realization. That evening, the aliens regrouped in a quiet alley. Each of them had witnessed something different, yet all had the same unsettling feeling. "It's not their weapons," said one. "It's not their machines," added another. "Then what is it?" the warrior demanded. Zyron stepped forward, his voice calm but heavy with understanding. "Their greatest weapon is their imagination." The others stared at him in confusion. "Imagination," the warrior repeated. "That is nothing, just pictures in their minds." "No," Zyron said sharply. "It is everything. These creatures do not simply adapt to survive. They dream of what does not exist, and then they create it." He pointed toward the city skyline, glowing brightly in the distance. Every building, every machine, every tool began as an idea in someone's mind. This is why they evolve so quickly. Their dreams are seeds, and those seeds grow into reality. The crew fell silent as they realized the terrifying truth. No matter how advanced the aliens were, their technology had limits. But humans? Humans had no limits because their imagination kept expanding. A dangerous discovery. As they spoke, a deep rumble filled the air. The aliens looked up to see a massive rocket launching into the night sky. Its engines roared, flames lighting up the horizon. Another one, the scientists whispered. They are leaving their planet. But what frightened the aliens most was not the rocket itself. It was what the rocket represented. It had started as nothing but a dream in someone's mind. And now, it was breaking through the atmosphere, reaching for the stars. If their dreams can take them this far, one alien said shakily, then one day, those dreams will bring them to us. Zyron's face darkened. This is why they are so dangerous, he said. We can destroy machines. We can burn cities. But how do we destroy something we cannot see? How do we fight an idea? The test of hope. To understand further, Zyron decided to conduct a final, silent test. The aliens visited a hospital where many humans were sick and weak. The warrior expected to see despair and fear. Instead, they saw hope. Doctors worked tirelessly, even when they were exhausted. Families sat beside their loved ones, whispering words of comfort. A child with trembling hands held a small toy rocket, telling his mother, "One day, I'll fly to the stars and bring you with me." The aliens were shaken. Even in pain, even in weakness, humans dreamed of a better future. This is their true power, Zyron said quietly. They are fragile, yes, but their hope makes them unbreakable. Return to the ship. When the aliens returned to their ship, the crew was silent. No one laughed at humans anymore. No one called them weak. They are not just survivors, one alien whispered. They are creators. Their dreams are their weapons. Zyron looked at Earth one last time before giving his order. We must prepare for the day they come to us, he said. Because when these fragile giants unite their dreams, no force in the galaxy will be able to stop them. As the ship vanished into the darkness of space, a final image lingered in the aliens' minds. A human child looking up at the stars, smiling, and imagining. The alien ship floated to the edge of Earth's atmosphere, silent like a shadow. Inside, Zyron stood at the command center, his glowing eyes fixed on the blue planet below. For weeks, he had watched humans rise from chaos, rebuild their cities, and launch rockets into space. He had seen their wars, their dreams, and their unstoppable determination. Now, he faced a choice. If humans continued to grow, they would one day challenge the entire galaxy. The only question was when. "Leader," said the warrior at his side, "our spies on the surface report that humans are preparing another launch. A larger rocket this time, one that could leave their planet completely." The crew stirred nervously. If they reach beyond their world, they will spread like wildfire, another added. They must be stopped. Zyron raised a hand to silence them. "We will reveal ourselves," he said slowly, "but not as conquerors. Not yet. We will warn them first. If they refuse to listen." His voice dropped to a cold whisper. "Then we will do whatever is necessary." The arrival. The skies over Earth lit up as the alien ship descended, cloaked in shimmering light. People on the ground gasped and pointed as a massive silhouette appeared through the clouds. Some screamed in fear. Others fell to their knees, thinking they were witnessing gods. Within minutes, every screen and device on Earth went black. A deep, resonant voice filled the air. Zyron's voice, broadcast directly into every human mind. "People of Earth," he declared, "you do not know us, but we have watched you. Your kind grows too quickly, too recklessly. Turn back from the stars or face a future of ruin." The world froze in shock. Governments scrambled to respond. Scientists panicked. Soldiers prepared for battle. But among the chaos, one voice rose, a calm, steady voice that cut through the fear. It was a leader of the space program, standing before cameras with determination in his eyes. "We will not turn back," he said firmly. "We are fragile, yes, but we have always been fragile, and we have always moved forward." The first strike. Zyron's eyes narrowed. "So be it," he said coldly. "Let them witness our power." He raised his hand, and a beam of energy shot from the alien ship. It struck an empty field, carving a massive crater into the earth. The message was clear. This was only a warning. Panic erupted across the planet. Many humans begged their leaders to surrender, but others clenched their fists in defiance. In hidden military bases, engineers and scientists worked furiously, combining alien energy they had secretly studied with human technology. The very signal left behind by Zyron's earlier test in Part 3 now became their greatest weapon. "They think we are weak," one scientist said, tightening a bolt on a strange new device. "They will learn how wrong they are." The battle begins. The first clash came over the ocean. Human fighter jets rose into the sky, flanking a massive rocket armed with experimental technology. The alien ship descended, its sleek metal body shimmering like a ghost. The humans fired first. Missiles streaked through the clouds, but alien shields blocked them effortlessly. The alien warriors laughed. "These are toys," one sneered. "They cannot harm us." But then, the rocket fired its strange new weapon, a pulse of energy created by reverse engineering alien signals. The alien shields flickered and cracked. For the first time, the aliens were shocked. They have learned our technology," a warrior cried. Zyron's voice thundered through the ship. "Do not underestimate them again. Attack with full force." Beams of light shot from the alien ship, slicing through the clouds. Human ships exploded one by one, but even as they fell, more rose to take their place. On the ground, humans worked together, guiding the battle with strategy and precision. The turning point. Zyron watched in disbelief as the humans refused to retreat. Even when their machines were destroyed, they fought with courage and creativity. One squad of humans lured an alien craft into a narrow canyon, where it became trapped. Another hacked into alien communications, feeding them false information and turning their own systems against them. "This is impossible," the scientists on Zyron's ship whispered. "They should be broken by now." "No," Zyron said, his voice filled with reluctant respect. "They are fragile, but they fight like giants." Suddenly, a massive blast struck the alien ship. The humans' experimental weapon had reached full power, piercing through its shields. Alarms blared as the great vessel began to falter. The final stand. On the ground, the human leader stood before a live broadcast. He spoke not just to his people, but to the galaxy beyond. "To those who watch us," he said, looking directly into the cameras, "know this, we are not the strongest. We are not the fastest. But we are united. We dream, we build, and we fight for each other. And we will never stop." Zyron heard the speech through intercepted transmissions. For the first time, he felt something he had never experienced before. Fear. He turned to his crew. "Retreat," he ordered, his voice heavy. "They have proven themselves today. We cannot destroy them without destroying ourselves." The alien ship began to rise, vanishing into the upper atmosphere. But Zyron's final words echoed through the humans' communication systems. "You have won this day, fragile giants, but we will return. And when we do, the galaxy will decide your fate." Aftermath. As the skies cleared, humans celebrated their survival. They had faced an enemy far stronger than themselves, and endured. But in secret laboratories, scientists continued to study alien technology. The battle was over, but the race for the stars had just begun. Far above, Zyron's ship drifted silently through space. He stared at Earth one last time and whispered, "We underestimated them once. We will never make that mistake again." The alien ship drifted silently through the dark void of space, far from Earth. Inside, the atmosphere was heavy. The crew moved quietly, their faces grim. They had been defeated, not destroyed, but forced to retreat by a species they once considered weak and insignificant. Zyron, the alien leader, stood at the observation window, staring at the glowing blue planet behind them. His glowing eyes reflected both anger and something new, respect. One warrior finally broke the silence. "Leader, we had superior weapons, faster ships, and greater numbers. How did we lose to such fragile creatures?" Zyron turned slowly, his voice calm but cold. "We did not lose because of their weapons," he said. "We lost because we never understood their true strength." The aftermath on Earth. On Earth, celebrations filled the streets. Humans had survived their first war against an alien species. Flags waved, People cheered, and families embraced. But beneath the joy, there was unease. World leaders met in secret rooms, aware that this victory was only temporary. They knew the aliens would return, and next time, it might not end so well. In underground laboratories, scientists studied fragments of alien technology left behind after the battle. Each discovery brought excitement and fear. If we can understand this, one scientist said, holding a glowing shard, we will not just defend ourselves. We will surpass them. The race of the stars had begun, and there was no going back. The Council of the Galaxy. Far away, in a hidden region of space, a council of alien civilizations gathered. Vast beings of every shape and size filled the chamber, their voices rumbling like thunder. At the center, Zyron stood before them, recounting his story. He spoke of Earth, of humanity's rise, of their unexpected resistance. When he finished, the council erupted into chaos. "This is impossible," one alien shouted. "A species so young cannot defeat a fleet like yours." "They are fragile creatures," another added. "How can they be dangerous?" Zyron raised his hand, silencing them. "You think of strength as claws, armor, and machines," he said. "But these humans are different. Their bodies are weak, yes, but their spirit, their dreams, make them stronger than we ever imagined." The council fell silent, unsettled by his words. The hidden truth. One ancient alien leader, older than any other, spoke softly. "You call them dangerous. But perhaps they are more than that. Perhaps they are the destiny of this galaxy." The room froze. "What do you mean?" Zyron asked sharply. The elder's many eyes glimmered. "Long ago, our civilization stopped growing. We became comfortable, safe, unchanging. But these humans, they burn with a fire we lost eons ago. Their weakness drives them to improve, to create, to fight. Perhaps they are not a threat to destroy us, but a force to replace us." The word sent chills through the chamber. The other leaders looked at one another, fear in their expressions. "If that is true," a warrior growled, "then we must destroy them before it is too late." "No," the elder said. "If you strike them now, you will only make them stronger. Their power grows through resistance, like a blade sharpened by friction." Zyron clenched his fists, remembering everything he had seen. The humans rebuilding after disasters, uniting during war, and daring to dream beyond the stars. The elder was right. These fragile giants were unstoppable, because every obstacle only fueled them. On Earth, a quiet moment. Back on Earth, a small child stood in the ruins of a city destroyed during the battle. The night sky above was filled with stars. The child held a simple wooden toy rocket, its paint chipped and faded. Beside the child, a parent knelt, whispering softly, "One day, we will rebuild. One day, you will fly higher than this toy, maybe even higher than the stars." The child looked up, their eyes full of wonder. "Do you think they are still out there?" the child asked. "Yes," the parent said, gazing at the sky. "But next time, we will be ready." The final vision. On the alien ship, Zyron stood alone in the command chamber. A hologram of Earth glowed before him. As he stayed, the hologram suddenly shifted, showing not just Earth, but thousands of glowing points spreading across the galaxy like a wildfire. It was a vision of the future. Humans traveling to other worlds. Humans building cities on distant planets. Humans standing face to face with other species, not as prey, but as equals or rulers. One of his warriors entered, alarmed. "Leader, what do you see?" Zyron's voice was low, almost like a whisper. "I see what will come. We thought we were the hunters, but they are the storm. We cannot stop them, only prepare." The twist, the warrior hesitated. Should we warn the others? Should we unite the galaxy against them? Zyron slowly shook his head. "No, because even if we united, it would not be enough. Their greatest weapon is not their armies or their machines. It is something we cannot touch." The warrior frowned. "What weapon?" Zyron turned, his face shadowed. "Their dreams," he said. "As long as they can imagine, they will never stop. And one day, they will imagine a future where they are not just survivors, but conquerors." The warrior shuddered, realizing the truth. The closing message. As the alien ship disappeared into the dark, cold expanse of space, the camera of the story returns to Earth. The same child from before holds a toy rocket, staring at the stars. Their voice echoes softly as the screen fades to black. We are small, we are fragile, but one day we will reach you. And when we do, the galaxy will never be the same. Final narration, voiceover for ending. Humans are the most fragile creatures in the galaxy. Their bodies break. Their lives are short. But their dreams are eternal. And dreams can never be underestimated.